Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phenix. I'm coming to you from Stanley, Virginia on a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon in December. Christmas is on the way, the great promise, and the great gift coming our way. And also this course is almost over. We're moving into week 7. We have 2 more weeks of some hard work. But very briefly then, case study number 2. For tips and pointers on how to do well, go back and look at my comments on your case study number 1. If it has to do with formatting of the outline format and the list format, that has to do with economy of effort and clarity of expression, period. You're going to choose from among the 3 case studies. It's in your materials there, reading and study, and it's going to be about Dan, an expulsion issue and a discipline issue, and also a discipline program issue. I think look carefully there at that. Or it's about Emily, which is a severe and profound disability, and the care of that student in the school, and the instruction of that student in the school. And then it's about Robert, having to do with some cultural insensitivity or non-sensitivity, and a school board issue, and what to do about that, and about bullying. I do want to encourage you most strongly, once again, put SWOT in the outline format if you can. The quadrant is okay. The SWOT is, the outline is by far preferable for me, but the essay format or the brief essay format doesn't work. And you will notice, those of you who wrote a paragraph of strengths will just go back and count how many strengths you listed. It was 1 or 2. That kind of a thing. You get lost in words and about a single issue that sticks in your heart. It doesn't mean it's not correct, but there are a number of things. And these case studies are more difficult than the Serge Romanich case study. There was so much information given to you in Serge's case. In these 3, there's not much information, and it seems I will give you one key piece of information. This is a weakness or a threat, actually. These case studies don't mention even once, I believe, any form of administration of the school. No principal, no persona, at least, and they make general statements. And these are 2 keys for you. Pay attention, and thank you for watching the video. They make general statements about what they're doing, and that doesn't cut it if you're going to be working in this business. So the SWOT in outline format if you can, and then case recommendations. You also will have some questions at the end of each of the the scenarios for you to use in your summary. So you have the summary, the SWOT, and the case recommendations. They all hang together. And the summary, of course, can be a 1-page, 1.5-page essay or document that also addresses those questions. What will we do? And the questions are so general. What are you going to do about these kids? All right, and take it from there. You'll do it. And then the SWOT in outline, and then the case recommendations as to and actions, specific actions of what you would do as site administrator. Concerning the final project, I don't think I need to say too much more. I hope you're working on it. You've had a little bit extra time. You have in the reading and study assignment instructions. There's the diverse school proposal. It lists the 8 headings and the many subheadings. And I would encourage you to use the subheadings as a guide for the kinds of things that you may want to be discussing about your project. You don't have to answer each and every one of them to gain full points. But use the ones that apply. Once again, going back to PowerPoint or text format for this. For the PowerPoint, I'm telling you, minimal text on the screen. You have to put the detail in the speaker's notes out of sight. That makes you the expert in the room. If you do a PowerPoint, minimal text on the screen. And please, especially if you use the essay, the text format for your presentation of your final project, avoid the cliches. Please stay away from general cliches. And that will lead me to my last point here today. I had a very good question from Mark in section 2 about what do I actually mean by strategic interventions. About applying strategies in the diverse school proposal. And what I mean is this. Let's take it as sort of 2 parts of this puzzle of what to do in our schools or with our communities. What are we going to do? We have inspiration on the one hand, and we have strategy on the other hand. Okay, inspiration has to do with our attitude and our being filled with the Spirit to do the right thing, and we must have that. That covers the high expectations which are required. Okay, the vision and the mission and all those kinds of things. The love of children, the anger. Okay, you'd be inspired by what people are doing to each other and what kind of teachers there are out there that are literally receiving a paycheck for warehousing children. Alrighty, and that's no good. Okay, but inspiration without some form of effective intervention is bankrupt, is empty rather. Inspiration is empty if that's all you have. You've got to apply some specific strategies that have been proven effective to reach those intended outcomes that we have. To Mark, when I responded to him, I gave him one example. Okay, and people talk, and also be cautious when you're talking about strategies. Don't just throw out a term that you've heard somewhere. Make sure you know what it means. Scaffolding is one for me. I've heard that for years. I think, wow, it sounds like a great idea, but I've never really quite understood it. And until you just go and look, it's so simple. Is that our instructional program has to deal in steps and in terms of relationship that we have with the student as a mentor to the student or as a guide. Okay, and how we take our steps forward and build on prior understanding or understanding learned along the way, or in the case of diversity, to build into that strategic puzzle of how are you going to deal with these children or with this community. Add in the value of what they bring to it that we don't know much about. That's what diversity studies are all about. You know, these are well-intentioned communities and children, and they come with very, very rich backgrounds, rich texture and fabric of their own background. But we don't understand it necessarily, so we try to fit them into our mold. How about trying something a little bit different? Be inspired by the treasure and the gift of the person that presents him or herself to you, or the children that present themselves to you. Alrighty. Strategies and applying strategies, that gets you away from just using the empty inspirational cliches. A school where all children can learn, a school where all children can succeed, or we're going to provide a high quality education for these students. We're going to work harder. It doesn't work. Okay, those words are empty. They show good intent. You know, well-meaning. You can be well-meaning, but by the same token, not be supplying anything that people can use or that truly take them toward those intended outcomes. So, assessment. The whole issue of the assessment at the end, the accountability factor in your diverse school proposal. Accountability is absolutely and critically important, because that's how you find out whether you have attained those goals, the mission and the vision, and whether the strategic interventions have actually panned out in favor of the children and in favor of your intention. Okay, being intentional is not enough. It's bankrupt if it doesn't have strategy attached to it. You know, I want to do something for these children. You know, but the intention has to be fulfilled through strategies. And I think I confused Mark totally with my answer, so I gave him a one-sentence second email back, and it was simply that intention and inspiration is not enough. We have to achieve our intended outcomes with strategic interventions, the actual specific defined actions that we are going to apply to reach our goals. I think that's it for today, with the exception of the final option that you have for week 8 on the journal article critique. You may revise an earlier journal article critique, and you must indicate at the top of your journal article critique, this is a revision of week 3 or week 4 or week 5, and then indicate the grades you got. Because I do grade them again, and I would hate to give you less than what you got. And if it's a 50 point, you can put that up again and rework it a little bit and put it back up, and hopefully you'll get another 50 points. I think you should, but it'll save you a lot of time. God bless you all. I think it's been a good term. Each term has a different flavor to it and a different surrounding feeling, and there's some great folks here doing wonderful things. Almost every single student has been watching these videos. I think I can see that in the journal article critiques and the formatting that you're using, particularly. I would have to say all but one. So let me remind you this. If there's one person out there that's not doing it right, okay, or that's not doing it to their own benefit, why burden everyone with that? You've done a great job. I apologize for my voice here. I lost my voice a few days ago, totally lost it, and tried to run radio programs that I do, amateur radio programs that I'm net control, and it was pretty embarrassing. But I've got it back mostly, and I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. I hope you're doing well. God bless you for what you're doing. God bless you for your mission and your own personal vision. Add strategy to it, and you will be unbeatable. You will be the expert in the room. God bless you. We'll see you next time, Lord willing. And Merry Christmas to you all. And what a great season. Only 2 weeks left. There's your Christmas present. God bless you. See you next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.